It's the Joseph Bristol Show.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Welcome to another episode of the Joseph Bristol Show. Thank you for watching. So today I want to talk about technology in the future. Now, the reason why this is important is in case those who don't know, Google did just have their I.O. or Google I.O. just happened. So Google I.O. just occurred, and for those who don't know, it's basically a tech conference. So, Google hosts a conference where they invite a bunch of people to come out and look at their products and look at their upcoming technologies that they've been working on, basically. Samsung does one, Apple does one, Microsoft does one. Everybody has a conference where they talk about the upcoming technology that they have been working on. So, Google I.O. though is very, very exciting. For those who don't know, I love technology. I am a huge technology guy. In my house, I have a lot of technology. Laptops and tablets and cameras and PlayStations and all kinds of other gizmos and gadgets that I tend to buy, especially when I go on my shopping spree. Yeah, I get like that sometimes. Amazon is a real motherfucker sucker. The future of technology I wanted to talk about because there's a lot of different things that's happening right now in the technical world, which it's going to play a huge impact on our lives moving forward. I mean, really, really major. One of the big discussions that have been happening recently or lately that I've been listening to on NPR News is police want to use facial recognition. And it's not like they haven't been using it, or it's not like the military doesn't use it, or government officials don't use it. But they want to allow local police to start using facial recognition, which would allow the cops to basically look at public footage and or street cameras and things like that, and run facial recognition on that, and really use that in court cases and arrest warrants and searching out people and so on and so forth, so that they would be able to identify people. So the cops want more access to that kind of technology. I think that's something that we definitely got to pay attention to. You know how I feel about the police. I basically feel like the police are America's gang. They're just out here to kill black people and lock people up and contribute to mass incarceration. Not all cops are bad, but a majority of them, probably 99% of them, are bad. Why do I say 99%? Because there's very few good cops. How do we know there's very few good cops? Because when these bad cops do the things that they're doing, you're not hearing about the good cops who are standing up and speaking out against them. You don't hear about the cops who jumped in the way to stop another police officer from shooting an unarmed civilian. None of these cops are turning in, oh, hey man, look at my body cam. Oh, yo man, that thing you did was wrong. None of them are doing that. Let me not say none of them, because that's a broad statement. A lot of them are not doing that. So I'm super anti-police currently, the way that the police work. I'm not anti-police in the sense that I don't want police. I definitely want police. We need somebody to protect us. If somebody breaks into my house, they gotta go to jail. I want them to be punished. But I don't want to be afraid of getting pulled over. I don't want to be afraid that if somebody calls the cops on me, I'm gonna get shot. Currently, I don't call police on people because I feel like if you call police on people, especially black people, you want that person to die. You want that person to either die or go to jail, because it's all cops do. They take you to jail or they kill you, one or the other. But they're not going there to resolve the issue and talk to people and things of that nature. But that's a whole nother video. Nonetheless, technology. So we got a lot of different things going on. Facial recognition, unmanned war machines. So right now there's the huge debate going on as far as warfare is concerned. We're looking at a brand new transition. The United States military, as well as a couple of other countries, have unmanned drones. So they have drones that can drop missiles on places, drones with automatic guns on them, all kinds of things. But basically they're machines that decide who lives and who dies, not humans. They have drones that literally do facial recognition, they process the landscape, and they decide who's a combatant and who's not a combatant. This is very dangerous ground, as we are programming machines to murder humans. Now, the reason why this is important is This is the complete opposite of what Uber is doing. So a couple months ago, remember Uber's self-driving car hit that woman and killed her. Only to find out that Uber actually paid the people an undisclosed amount. They settled out of court and they paid the lady's family. Now, the reason why I always believed that the self-driving car thing was important was self-driving cars, you're teaching the AI to basically not hurt people, to do everything in its power to avoid hurting a human being. With the unmanned drones, we are teaching the AI how to identify a human and kill them. So we're teaching, we have two different AIs that we're really developing, that we're really trying to push for. AI that can identify human combatants and kill them, and an AI that can identify humans and not hurt them and do everything in its power to avoid hurting a person. So this is extremely important. This is going to define our future, especially with AI technology. Those who didn't see the Google I/O, they currently have a AI that they have been developing and have developed that can make phone calls for you, and it's a conversational AI, so it can talk to you like a person, like a real human being. You should really check it out. Go YouTube it, the Google I/O. And the reason why this can be a problem is, one, when you are on a phone call, it almost always tells you that you're talking to a machine. So you know you're talking to a machine. And so you say things like operator, representative, so on and so forth, because you don't want to talk to a machine. But with Google's AI, it sounds like a human. So the question comes, do the machines have to say that they're a machine? Or can they just conversate with us and trick us into thinking that they're humans? And then if a machine makes a deal with a human, or a machine does processing, a payment or something like that, can the person who asks the machine to do it, can they get a refund? Can they refuse? Can they say, no, I didn't want the machine to do that? Who's responsible for these things? So who decides whether the machine did the task correctly or whether it didn't? You know what I mean? So it's to me, it brings up a lot of ethical questions. The whole technology thing brings up a lot of ethical questions, from the unmanned killing machines to the unmanned driving cars to machines who can make phone calls. Matter of fact, I remember reading an article a couple weeks ago about sex robots that will have AI. So, and I'm not talking about, that's not even far in the distance. Right now you can buy sex dolls, but the robot specifically moving and functioning, talking back to you, you can actually buy one of those, couple grand, so $5,000, $10,000, something like that, but you can buy one. But they're saying that in the next couple years, maybe 5, probably less, there's gonna be sex robots with AI already installed in them. So you're talking about designing these things to basically function and speak like a human. So these things are all important technological advances that we want in our society, for sure. We want them. At the same time, it's a dangerous thing to be dealing with, the technology. Because another thing to keep in mind is the jobs. So if the AI is not making phone calls, it's calling people for you, what about telemarketing jobs? These jobs are about to go out of the window. No need to have a bunch of people talking on the phone when you can just make the computer do it for you, the AI do it for you. So as far as like tech jobs are concerned, I was watching a program that was speaking about the 4 different brackets for tech jobs, or 4 different brackets for jobs in general. And one of the brackets that they were talking about is probably for sure going to stay human, is jobs that are unroutined or routined but require creative thinking and or immediate decision making. These kind of jobs are safe for humans. So when I was thinking about technology and the advancement and people being afraid of losing their jobs and the robots are taking our jobs, Elon Musk the other day came out and he was saying that the reason why the Tesla Model 3 is taking so long for the production is he got rid of all the humans and he put in robots, and that was a huge mistake. So said Elon Musk. So that industry, as far as manufacturing is concerned, robots creating robots, I don't think that it's gotten to the point where we no longer need humans. I think we're still going to need humans. But let's say the whole world gets super advanced and technology starts taking over everywhere. There are certain jobs that we know for a fact can never be fully robotic. That's a fact. Creating, so movie making, art, poems, anything that requires creating something. This is something that computers can't do. They'll never be able to do it. It takes too much human intuition to do those kind of jobs. But regardless of that, what I always tell people is there's no reason to be afraid of technology taking our jobs. What we need to do right now as a society, especially black people, is we got to teach our kids coding. Now, you'll hear a lot of people say, oh man, there's no need for everybody to learn coding. No need for that. That is ridiculous. That's stupid. Everyone should learn coding. Coding should be taught in schools the same way we're taught to read. We should learn how to code. Why should we all learn how to code? One, technology is almost in everything. Eventually, it's going to be in everything. You're talking about chips in people's skin, smart shirts, smart pants, smart socks, smart shoes. We're talking about computer chips in everything, cars, couches, TVs, picture frames. There's going to be a computer in everything. So there's going to be coding in everything. If your kid can code, there's nothing that they can't do. There's literally nothing that they can't do. They can repair almost anything. They can change things. They can be innovative. They can create and manipulate. Another thing about coding is, if we teach all our children coding, they don't have to be afraid of what they're going to do for a living. Everything has technology in it. So even if your kid decides to sweep the floor, which is nothing wrong with that. If your kid wants to be a garbage man and that's all he wants to do with his life, that is being a successful human being. That's a whole nother video as far as what is success, but a quick rundown for success. In my view, success is basically doing whatever makes you happy, while at the same time doing that thing is earning you money. So if we teach our kids coding, then even if they're a garbage man, that coding still is going to help them. They can make a website. They can code the garbage truck, which it will need coding. They can code the garbage cans. Yes, eventually there will be smart garbage cans. Everything is going to be smart. Everything is going to have technology in it. That's just the way the world is going. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I actually love it. I'm really excited for the day when I can walk into a hospital and it'll immediately tell the doctors, yo, this guy's ingested poison. Or better yet, let me have a chip in my arm where I could be eating a burger and my chip will go off and tell me you just eaten salmonella. There's traces of salmonella that has been detected in your bloodstream. Please go and see a medical doctor. That's where the world is going. That's what I'm excited for. That's what I want. So I think that teaching our kids coding is extremely important. And on top of teaching your kids coding, which is again very easy, it's not that hard. They have toys and things of that nature to help your children learn coding. Apps that are free to help you learn coding and things like that. Apps like Grasshopper, you got the Kano, you got the Lego coding kit where you can buy your kid Legos and they can build up their own robots and then code them to function and work. I actually bought my son that for his birthday that just passed. Another reason why not to be afraid of losing the jobs is someone has to make the machines. So someone has to make these things. That's a job. Someone has to code these things. That's a job. Someone has to make the parts that make the part. That's a job. Someone has to sell these things. So a lot of times now you got a lot of advertising, social media and things like that. But let's never forget, we still have kiosks in malls. We still have door-to-door salesmen. We still have people who sell things, who are good salesmen. So that's another thing. Even with the talking AI, we really shouldn't be afraid of that either. AI hasn't gotten to the point where it can talk to somebody and have a full-on conversation. I'm talking about you start talking about one thing, jump to a completely different thing, and then come right back to that first thing you were talking about, and you still want the AI to know what parts of the conversation matter and what parts don't, so that the AI can then circle back around to have a good, fully functional conversation. So I wanted to talk about the technology advancing that's occurring in our lifetime right now, and in my lifetime more specifically, but really for all of us that are alive. Even if you're 70 years old, you're still alive. You might be alive for another 20 years. So you gotta, keep an eye out on this technology. So those are all things that I think we should really take a look at and really pay attention to. the drones that are killing people is important. All this stuff is important because the AI is the future. So if we have AI that can identify humans and kill them without a human's say so, that to me is a huge problem. That to me is a huge problem. That's where the Terminator comes in. That's when we have technology that starts to kill people and is trying to enslave us and things like that. Once we start giving the technology the knowledge and the ability to decide for itself who should live and who should die. So thanks for watching another episode of the Joseph Bristol Show, and let's all try to never forget that we all out here doing the same thing, just trying to be happy and survive.
Make sure you like and subscribe.